Hello, boils and ghouls. Welcome to Watchers Podcast with your hosts, Brad and Colson.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Hi, I'm Jackie. Wanna play?
Why are you doing this to us? Because you were home.
I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left. No reason, no conscience, no understanding, and even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, of good or evil, right or wrong.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Hey everybody, welcome to Watchers. My name is Brad, here with Colson Oliver.
Hello.
And this week, we are covering Sleepaway Camp 2.
Yay.
Yay! Before we get into that, though, Colson, how's it going?
It's going good. You?
Oh, good.
That's fantastic.
Yep. I really got to get out of the habit of asking that every time. I got to come up with some new opening material.
Yeah. I like it. I like to tell you how I'm doing.
Well, yeah, someone has to ask you.
That's true.
If I don't ask, who will?
I don't know.
There you go. Coley.
Yeah, doubtful.
Yeah, so, to get this show started, I have a scary story.
Awesome.
Yeah. This one comes from Bert Campbell. No relation.
Okay, I was about to ask. Go ahead.
He's my evil twin, Bert.
Yes. Bert and Brad.
Yep.
Siamese twins separated at birth.
By
House of Wax.
Yeah.
That's what you guys are. There you go.
Yeah, only it was like a botched circumcision that separated us.
Docking.
Yeah.
Look that up.
Bert.
Sorry.
Don't look up docking.
No, don't.
Yeah, Bert got all the length, if you know what I'm talking about.
I do know.
Just got a button down there.
Yeah. Button.
Second belly button.
Yes.
Anyway, Bert, sorry about bringing your manhood into this.
Yes.
Onto your story. I've been a professional haunt actor for about 14 years. The haunt I worked for until 2018 when it closed was actually haunted. It was an old hosiery mill. Hosiery?
I don't know.
Hosiery.
Hosiery?
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 I feel like it's one of those words like colonel.
Yeah.
It sounds completely different than it's spelled.
Yeah, could be.
Okay, I just showed my stupidity.
Yeah.
Hosiery mill that was about 125 years old. Lots of bad things happened there before it was a haunted attraction. So it was my second year there in 2007. I played a clown, and we had a big clown scene. It had a wooden cage in the back corner, and my job at the time was to stand in the cage and shake the bars and kick the door open and chase people around the corner. One night, a few nights before Halloween, we had a big group come in of maybe 12 people. They came in my scene, and I'm doing my thing. I kick the door open, and as soon as I do, I feel something I can't see grab my shoulder and shove me across the room. I hit the ground hard, and the funny thing was it scared the group and they ran. But for a couple minutes after that, you could see a handprint on my left shoulder.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
A ghost that either hates clowns or haunted attractions, maybe. I don't know.
That's nuts.
Yeah. I'm very curious what the bad things that happened there before.
Yeah.
I should have done a little more research and talked to Bert a little more about this. Instead of discussing who was the good twin, who was the evil twin.
Now, he mentioned he was a haunt actor. Is that what they call them? Like, if you work in a haunted house, I'm a haunt actor?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. I never heard that until you said that.
Yeah.
Weird.
It'd be cool to talk to some of these people that work in those places, too. Like, just to find out, like, what it's like.
Yeah.
You scare people, but like, how do you hype yourself up ahead of time
Yeah, exactly.
and stuff like that? Like, how do you decide on your character?
I wonder, because like you go to like Universal Studios and shit like that during their Halloween days, and those people are like super creepy.
Oh yeah,
and they're there like all night, like just coming up to people like, ugh. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? A couple of Red Bulls and fucking do cigarettes to get amped up. I don't know.
It would suck, or maybe it'd be fun. I don't know. But having to do the same thing over and over, it'd be almost like you're doing the same take, over and over again for every group that comes through.
That's true, because I'll give a slight spoiler alert here for Universal Studios. If you do the park tour, they take you get in like those golf cart trolley things, and you go by the Bates Motel. And so, spoiler alert if you're going there, but Norman Bates comes out carrying like a dead woman on his shoulder. And he sees the trolley thing, and he runs after it, like, hey, and you drive away. The tour drives away. And I just think, like, what does that guy do? Go back into that hotel room and sit down on the bed and just start texting? Or, like, what do you do all day?
Yeah, that's right.
Because you got, I don't know, 20 minutes or 15 minutes between, or maybe even 5 minutes between the next group showing up. And he's like, all right, puts his phone down, lugs the woman on his shoulder.
Here we go again.
Here we go. It's weird, but, yeah, crazy.
I want to see just a day in the life of Norman Bates. Turns out he's just actually murdering people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it'd be fun. I like the story.
Yeah, great story. Thank you, Bert, for sharing that one. If you guys have a story, Watchers_podcast on Instagram, or if you're listening on YouTube, comment below. Tell us your scary story. We'll be back in a minute.
Hey everyone, my name is Eddie, producer, legend, and host of My Crunchy Podcast over on the Podmoth Media Network. If you're looking for something chaotic, somewhat messy, and very incomprehensible, then go stream My Crunchy Podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So stop searching and start listening to all your new faves from the Podmoth Media Network team now.
And we're back with a review of Sleepaway Camp 2, Unhappy Campers, 1988. Little known fact, Unhappy Campers was the name of my junior high glee club.
Oh.
Yeah, it was just me and one other deaf kid.
Okay.
We strictly did Bon Jovi covers.
That sounds good.
It was so much fun.
Awesome.
I've recorded them all. I'll let you sit down and listen to them someday.
What a treat.
Yeah. You'll be wishing you were deaf.
Yes.
This one has a 5.7 on IMDb, directed by Michael A. Simpson, who may actually be a Simpson.
Yeah.
From the cartoons.
Could be.
Terrible joke. First time watch for you, or have you seen this?
Second time.
Okay.
It's been 13 years.
Okay.
So that's a long time for me.
Yeah.
What about you?
First time.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Oh, that's swell.
Yeah. You want to give a bit of a rundown of what happens in this one?
So we'll talk about Angela is no longer.
Oh yeah, spoilers.
Yeah.
There's going to be some slight spoilers, or some heavy spoilers actually, from Sleepaway Camp 1.
Right.
So if you haven't watched that movie, maybe watch that one first.
Yeah.
Maybe don't even bother watching this one. It's up to you.
Yeah. It's a different Angela. It's now played by Pamela Springsteen, who is Bruce Springsteen's sister. I thought it was his daughter.
Yeah, me too.
But it's his sister. I looked it up today.
Oh.
Thank God, because I would have been like his daughter the whole time.
Yeah, and everyone would be like, what an idiot.
Exactly. Now, she plays, obviously, Angela. Now, Renee Estevez plays Molly.
That's a interesting last name.
Oh, it sure is.
She related to any Estevez?
She is the younger sister of Emilio and Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez. And Martin Sheen is obviously her father. Which I did not know until yesterday. But anyway, she plays Molly. And Brian Patrick Clark plays TC. Again, I mentioned it last week when we talked about Sleepaway Camp. These people didn't really... There's a bunch of no-namers.
Yeah.
No offense to them. So yeah, spoiler alert, like you mentioned, for both this one and Sleepaway Camp. Shorter runtime on this one.
Yeah, thankfully.
It's an hour. It's credited as an hour and 18. Without credits, it's like an hour and 15.
Yeah, feels like 2.
It did, right? For being so short, it felt long. So yeah, I'll jump right into this. So, oof. The movie starts with a group of camp counselors. They're telling ghost stories, of course. Or counselors and kids, whatever.
Yeah.
Telling ghost stories, and then one of them starts telling the story of Angela, or whatever happened a couple years ago at this other camp. And she's interrupted by a woman who tells her to go back to the cabin. So they speculate, the group that stayed, they all kind of speculate what happened to the killer. And one of the guys says that she got a sex change operation in a mental hospital. Okay.
Yeah.
Angela is the one taking the counselor back to the cabin. She calls her a slut because she was with all these guys at the fire, threatens to fire her, and then picks up a log and smashes her in the head with it, I think killing her.
Yeah. Appears that way.
Yeah. Then the next day, the girls in the cabin are wondering what happened to the counselor. Angela tells them that she sent her home for doing things with the boys. And then Angela kind of leaves or whatever. And these girls in this cabin, they rule. The one is walking around topless. Angela comes back in or whatever. She was there. She doesn't like that, Sleep with a nightgown on. To her, I say, boo. I'm sorry. So, anyway, the best part, the two boys are outside the cabin taking pictures through the window of this chick without a top on. It's great. So at breakfast, they're talking about Angela. The group of kids are talking about how awful she is. And Angela says it's time for a song. And it's the Happy Camper song. Ugh. This was the fucking worst.
Yeah.
Awful song. It's all the people have, they're waving their hands in the air like a bunch of idiots. It's awful.
It's for morale.
Yeah. That's right. At this point, TC, one of the counselors, asks Angela to hang out with him. She says no. Maybe she'll call him. At this point, you kind of notice around the camp, it's very mullet heavy.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of mullets, which I'm not mad at.
No. There's one guy, the guy with the blonde mullet.
Yeah. The kid or the counselor?
The counselor.
Okay, that's TC.
TC, yes. Yeah. For anybody listening to this that's also a wrestling fan.
Okay.
There is such a crazy, he looks so much like a wrestler named Dolph Ziggler, who got his name based on Dirk Diggler.
Okay.
But, yeah, so if anyone here watches wrestling and has seen Sleepaway Camp 2, just comment and be like, yeah, you're right, Brad.
You're right.
Give me some validation.
I'll have to look that up.
Because he looks just like Dolph Ziggler.
I like it. So moving ahead, the good egg, who sleeps naked, I wrote that down. She's a good egg. She's sitting poolside with a white t-shirt on. She removes her swim top and then says something like, if you throw me in that pool, I'm going to be so mad at you. And the guy's like, really? And he just picks her up and throws her in. Another great scene of her just coming out of the water with her tits showing through her awful white shirt. It's a fantastic movie so far. Sorry. Angela, at this point, she's sneaking through the woods and she sees two girls smoking and drinking. I think they're smoking weed. I have no idea.
Yeah, they call them the Shit Sisters?
Yeah. Shout.
Oh, I thought they were saying
shut. It's close to that, I think. But I think their name is actually like Shut or something. Oh. I have no idea. You could be right.
Okay. I thought they were saying Shit Sisters.
Yeah, so those sisters are making fun of her dumb song, and Angela's watching this, and she doesn't like that.
No.
So, yeah, anyway, we'll get back to the camera cuts to black. So, Angela at this point is looking for them. She's asking people, have you seen them, or whatever.
Yeah.
She sneaks into the woods and sees a guy making out with one of the girls, and she sends the guy away. And then, because one of the sisters is asleep, the other one was making out with this guy. Angela wakes the sleeping one up by pouring... No, she... Yeah, okay. So the guy who was making out with the girl runs away.
Yeah.
She then does whatever to her. Wakes up the second one who was sleeping with, like, pouring gas on her.
Yeah.
Or something. And she sits up and sees her sister is like a charred skeleton.
Yeah. Burnt to a crisp.
Burnt to a crisp right in front of her. She screams. Angela then lights her on fire, but we don't see it.
Yeah.
I guess kind of like lights a match or something.
Yeah. That's the end of the shit sisters.
Can I just say, like, right here, we'll stop it here. The first one was like, Angela was very quiet and like I wouldn't say, I don't know, just shy and like in a shell.
Sneaking around.
Yeah. This one, she's like got puns and she's like out there, like very outgoing personality.
Yeah.
It's a completely different character, even though she's playing the same character.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah, and they said that Felissa Rose auditioned for this role, which is strange.
Yeah.
Like, you've already played the character in the previous movie. You clearly can play the character.
Right.
But they were like, oh, she couldn't deliver the puns and stuff as well. It's like, well, you didn't need the puns.
Yeah.
It's
like, very strange.
Yeah. And it's
okay, we'll continue.
Yeah. And how did this not start a forest fire?
Yeah, good point. Very moist in that shitty woods that they're in.
Yeah. And why are we just condensing shit to these two girls when this whole movie exists?
Yes.
Or shut. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever their name is. So nighttime in the girls' cabin now. Angela has to go to a counselor's meeting. And at this point, the guys rush in for a panty raid, I think. Angela ends up coming back and sees this happening, tells them to clean up. The girls then make a plan to steal the guys' jocks later that night. So they cut ahead. They cause a ruckus in the guy's cabin. Angela walks in, and just as one of the girls is flashing, like, hey, I don't have my bra and panty. I won't be able to cover these.
Yeah.
Kids come out, and Angela sees that and doesn't like it, of course. Angela's a fucking dullard.
Rude.
Yes, exactly. Anyway, the girl wants to go home. Angela, they're talking in a car. She's like, I want to go home, whatever. And then Angela grabs a drill. Like she's reaching for a drill and then just drills her.
Yeah.
We, again, don't see anything. I think it cuts to black again, or it's shot from outside the vehicle.
Yeah, you don't really see any of the kills.
No, there's one later on.
Yeah.
Or maybe two.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not... Anyway. At this point, TC is making a special announcement to the camp that a bunch of shit is missing. He lists a drill is missing, and my battery for my vehicle is missing, and all this shit. Yeah. We'll get to that stuff later. This movie sucks.
Yeah, there's no mystery to it at all.
No, it's
like right off the bat. It's like, okay, here's your killer. Like, oh, I'm missing all this stuff. It's like, oh yeah, because Angela has it.
Exactly. If you're gonna do this movie, the kills have to pay off.
Yeah,
and they don't because they cut away.
Yeah,
or whatever. You know, it's already happened when this person wait. It's just, if you're gonna show us everything like this, you got to show us the gold.
Yeah,
which is not happening.
No.
Anyway, So yeah, Angela, she's going up into the woods, and a girl named Molly follows her up into the woods, and they talk about the other girls and boys at camp. A certain boy that Molly likes, and Angela at this point mentions, I used to be shy. I am still a virgin, and I'm proud of it. Okay. So they head back to camp. So back at camp, they're playing that game where you blindfold somebody and you like stick your hand in.
Yeah.
And, like use like Jello and different things.
It's like, ooh, these grapes with no skin on them are
eyeballs. Yeah. And they get to Angela's section and they feel it, and she's like, dead teenager brains. And everybody's like, ugh. And they're like, what is it really? And she's like, dead teenager brains. It's like, okay. At this point, the two kids who were taking pictures of the girls are looking at all the pictures. They have like a stack of Polaroids, these fucking creeps. Angela sees them looking at their pictures, and she grabs them, and she says she's going to tell. So they're bummed out.
Yeah.
She's walking out. TC tells her to watch her back. He overheard that the kids are going to scare her. So, cut to the nighttime. We have Jason, Freddy. They're there with their shit on. Freddy drops his glove, and he's then looking for it, and the glove pops out of the ground, and he's like, hey, you found it! And then slices the neck.
Yep.
And then Jason turns and sees Leatherface, and Leatherface starts up the chainsaw and chases him. I think they have like some sort of fight. Like he's like, yeah, dude! And it turns out that Leatherface is Angela, of course. So he gets killed. And then Leatherface appears with the girls, and they all tackle him, and they find out it's Angela, and she laughs, and they're all having fun. So anyway, she says that now the boys won't be around to scare her. Ugh. Allie, one of the girls, she isn't with them, and Angela says, "Where's Allie?" And they go, "She has cramps." So she's like, "Yeah." So
she had cramps last week.
You did that perfectly, by the way. You put the hands on the hip, like, it's exactly what she does. It's fucking awful. So she cut to the bathroom, I think it is, and she's hooking up with some guy.
In one of the most awkward scenes of the movie.
Oh, for sure.
It's like showing just their calves.
Yeah, their calves he's dry, and they end up in a toilet stall.
Yeah, but they're like falling.
Yeah,
and like I don't know. They're supposed to be having sex at one point.
Yeah.
But the angle is so strange
that,
like, she must have the lowest vagina in the world. Because he's, like, urinal height.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Angela, she shows up, stops their good time. TC is looking for the guys now who were going to scare Angela, so he's out looking for them, because obviously they're gone.
Have you ever heard anyone called TC?
Never.
Like there's AJ.
Yeah, AJ,
CJ, stuff like that. TC is so weird.
I've never heard it.
And I think what I remember reading was they've named everybody after like stars of the time. So it's supposed to be like Tom Cruise and Molly Ringwald.
Okay.
And they even say like Charlie and Emilio at one point in the movie.
Yes, that's okay.
Yeah.
Weird. So anyway, Allie at this point is banging the guy in the woods. She goes back to the cabin and finds a note, and she goes where this note tells her to go, and she thinks it's from a guy named Sean, who Molly likes, I think. Yeah. So she goes up to the cabin, this abandoned cabin thing, and she's banging on the door. Sean? And Angela's there, of course. Angela comes out, so she stabs her in the back, and then shoves her head into like a shitty outhouse.
Yeah.
Like one of those ones with like a hole in the ground, and she stuffs her in there with a stick, poking her down. Gross, brutal. That's the end of Allie.
Yeah, that's probably one of the grossest kills I've seen in a movie.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
It's fucking, yeah, it's gross. Yeah, so anyway, moving ahead. One of the girls at the camp is talking to Angela. She tells her she's called all the girls who had been sent home. Because Angela this whole time is saying, like, oh, I sent Allie home. I sent the whatever sisters home.
Yeah.
They were misbehaving.
Yeah.
So this girl is now saying, hey, I phoned their home. And their mother said that she's still at camp, and I talked to her brother, and he said she's still at camp. So Angela at this point like grabs a curtain and starts closing it, and like going around her room closing everything up. So obviously this woman's gonna get it, and she grabs like a guitar wire or something, or a string.
That's what it looks like.
And she just kind of comes up behind her and chokes her. So Angela is now moving the body around as another girl comes into the cabin, and she sees the body, and Angela just jumps out and stabs her. So there's 2 more dead in a few seconds. So in that cabin now there's just Angela and I think Molly. That's all that's left. Everybody else has been sent home or dead. So yeah. Angela, she starts having nightmares about all the people she's killed. It's a weird scene. Like a flashback montage.
It looks ridiculous.
Very weird. So the next day, Uncle John, who is like the owner of this camp, he ends up firing Angela because he said that no one else is to be sent home without his permission. And she says, what if I said I'm sorry and I won't do it again?
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
She is the worst.
Awful. So he fires her. Anyway, so she goes off into the woods, and Molly and her boyfriend, I think it's that Sean guy, they go up to find her. They go up to the cabin, and they kind of, he forces, they find her, the girl's consoling her,
mm-hmm.
and Sean grabs the door to the cabin, and he's fucking reefing on it, and she's like, can't open it, it's locked, and he's like, no, it's not, and he breaks the door open, and Angela's like, no, don't go in there, and runs up, and Sean goes inside, and sees all the bodies.
Yeah.
Which got them, like, propped up or whatever, just kind of sitting around this shitty cabin. And he starts puking right away.
Yeah.
And she, like, grabs a stick and fucking beats them up with it. And then ties them up. So TC finds the cabin. I don't know, I think they said that they were going up there, or he just found it on his own. I can't remember. Whatever. He ends up finding the cabin, and he goes inside, and Angela throws acid from the battery in his face. So anyway, he's out of commission now.
Yeah.
Sean, then, who is tied up, he puts it together that Angela is the killer from Camp Arrowwalk, or whatever that camp from the first one is called. And she says, hey, I'm cured now. The doctors say I'm good to go, whatever. Yeah. She mentions electric shock therapy and everything else. And then she just fucking cuts this guy's head off.
Yeah.
That was a cool one.
One clean swipe.
Yeah. Kind of a side shot, and brings his knife or sword up over it, and his head's gone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Angela is then cleaning off Molly's face because she got, like, blood spatter on her, and tells her that she needs to eat. And Sean was no good for you. And then she's like, look, there he is on TV or whatever. And they turn, and Sean's head is in, like, a busted-out TV.
Yeah.
Which was pretty funny, but anyway. Angela's then dragging a body, I think it's TC's body, out of the cabin. And Molly is, like, tied up, so she ends up getting free. And Angela goes back into the cabin, and Molly hits her with the stick 3 times.
Yeah.
In the back, not in the head, in the back, and then just runs away.
Yeah. You got the stick, just keep going.
Yeah, keep going. Angela, of course, gets up and chases her. She ends up somehow getting in front of Molly, and they end up fighting, and Molly stabs Angela in the leg. I guess Angela had a knife and Molly grabbed it when she knocked her down. So they start fighting. Molly gets the knife, stabs Angela in the leg, gets up and runs off again. And Angela tackles her. Molly gets away again and then is backing up, like right to an edge. And then falls off a cliff, we think. And then we look and it's like a 5-foot cliff, but she did land on a rock.
Yeah.
So she hit her head after falling off this shitty cliff. Anyway. Angela assumes she's dead and is like, okay, you're done, whatever. Mm-hmm. So back at the camp, there's at this point, all of them are dead.
Yeah.
The photographer kids, their necks are slit. Uncle John is dead. However many people, I have no idea, but a bunch of them are dead.
Yeah.
We didn't see any of it happen, and just back at the camp, they're all dead. Mm-hmm. Molly then wakes up from her rock nap. Sorry. We see a truck. Angela is in a truck with some woman. They're stopped at like a train crossing, and she starts talking naughty, or too naughty, too inappropriate for Angela's liking, so Angela lunges across and kills her. At this point, Molly is then walking down the dirt road. The truck that we just saw at the train crossing stops, and Molly runs to the driver's side, thinking, I'm going to be saved. Angela is now driving the truck, and says, howdy, partner, wearing a fucking cowboy hat. And the camera zooms in on Molly's screaming face, and that's the end.
Yeah.
This was an hour and 15-minute movie. Felt like 2 hours.
Yep.
It was awful.
It's not good.
Now, you borrowed my DVD.
Mm-hmm.
The audio cut out when certain kills are happening.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
I was wondering if that was part of the movie. Like,
I don't know.
Is it like that?
I don't know.
Like, she throws the acid on his face, and his scream cuts out.
And then the scene, the same thing when she's beating the guy with a stick or whatever. There's the
no
audio;
sound.
It's just gone. You can kind of hear like very faint, like do do do. Yeah. And that's it. I was like, "What is going on here?" It's super shitty quality.
Yeah,
this was very, very poor quality of it looked like shit.
The fact that this came out like 5 years after the original, and it's this bad, is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, how... I'm sure there's lots when it comes to old horror movies.
Yeah.
But the drop-off from the original to the sequel is so drastic.
No, this is one of the worst, I would think.
Yeah.
That I can think of anyway. It's like... we'll find out in a minute what we're going to rate this.
Yeah.
But you gave the first one a 9.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it an 8.5. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Body count, I don't even know. Over 20, I think.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite kill?
Probably the outhouse.
Okay, the poking her down with a stick.
Yeah.
That was good.
I've never seen that before, and it would be so terrible.
Yeah, that would be. I put the head chop off one because I like that.
Yeah.
It was cool. Least favorite kill?
Any of the rest.
Yeah. I put down the drill just because you don't see it.
Yeah, you don't see anything.
Weird.
She's like, oh, just getting my drill.
Yeah.
She goes up over the seat with it.
Oh my god. Anything make you jump?
Not a thing.
Me either, of course. Yeah.
Spooky, scary, terrifying?
What's below spooky?
Not
spooky?
Not
there
spooky.
We go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put it at spooky.
Negative spooky.
Yeah. You?
Yeah. Same. My favorite part of the movie is the poster. And it's a girl, like, with a backpack.
Yeah.
And it has, like, the Freddy glove and the mask and
I was
chainsaw.
Gonna ask you about this. That's not Pamela Springsteen.
It's not Pamela Springsteen. It's not Felissa Rose. They couldn't get Pamela Springsteen on the day, so they just got an actor.
Wow.
A model.
Okay, so that actually is like a thing. Like, they couldn't get her, so they used a stand-in.
Yep.
And shot her face.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, front and center on the cover.
That's insane.
Not even in the movie.
Jesus Christ. Like, put the fucking, I don't know.
Put the mask on her.
Yeah, something. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm glad that you knew because I was wondering about that.
Yeah, it's terrible.
On to ratings. Do you have anything else? You got
no,
more?
I don't have anything else.
Okay.
I
was hoping you were going to trash it a little bit more, but
no, it was a struggle just to get through this one.
Yeah, and I messaged you. I was like, "Hey, it's only an hour and 15 minutes," and you were like, "Good, whatever." Yeah. And I was like, "Oh, you don't know how good that is." Because if this would have been like an hour 50, for real hour 50, oh my god,
yeah,
brutal.
I would have been messaging you and be like, "We got to do something else."
Something else. I can't finish.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's crazy because I know there's people that love this movie. Like, it has its own cult following too,
right?
And I guess maybe if you're sitting down watching it with a bunch of friends, like making fun of it or something,
yeah,
it'd be great.
And this one, like I said, if they had shown us the kills, this could have been fun.
Yeah.
But the fact that they cut away so much, it just kind of...
Yeah.
I don't know. It takes it away from me. Now, there's a Sleepaway Camp 3. Have you seen that one?
No. I think there's like 5 or 6 of them.
There's another... I think there's only 4.
Okay.
Because the other one, whatever it's called, came out in 2008. That's when I last watched all these. So that would have been 12 years ago. I don't remember the third one at all. Again, it's only been a one watch for me, and it was 12 years ago.
The third one was filmed back to back with this one.
Okay.
And released a year apart. So I can't imagine the third one being much better.
Yeah, it's probably more of the same.
Yeah.
Now, the 2008 one, I don't remember anything other than the fact that Big Pussy from The Sopranos is in it. And he has a bird. That's all I remember. Like, there's some sort of parakeet or something.
I've never watched The Sopranos, but now that I know there's a character named Big Pussy, I might have to watch
Big Pussy Bumpin' Sarah, I believe his name is. He's great. Yeah, check that out.
Yeah.
Much better than this. Yeah, we won't talk about Sleepaway Camp 3 yet. No. We'll get to that soon.
Yeah.
Probably never.
Hopefully never.
Hopefully
at this rate.
Yeah, anyway. What do you rate it?
I'll give it a 3.
That's me too. I'm a 3.
Yeah, because there is a couple of good kills and stuff. The battery acid to the face is pretty good too.
That's it had, like you said, it had potential. It just cut away. I don't know, weird things.
Yeah, they cut away, and they just. I wish there was a little more suspense, like who is killing everybody, instead of like. In the opening 2 minutes of the movie, it's like, oh, it's her. That's Angela again.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. They did that.
Fucked it up.
They did that, yes. Yeah.
So that'll do it for this week. Colson and I are now going to go camping ourselves.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and recreate some Sleepaway Camp.
Oh, thank God.
Just the topless scenes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking of another camping movie involving cowboys. Nothing. Sorry.
I'll go get my cowboy hat.
Exactly.
Bye. That concludes our show. Hope you had fun. And if you want to subscribe, we're available wherever you listen to podcasts. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, though, please be sure to leave that coveted 5-star review. If you want even more Colson and Brad, you can check out our Facebook page by searching Watchers Podcast. Follow us on Letterboxd at Campbell Brad and Noslock88. That's Colson backwards, 88. And on Twitter at WatcherPod, and on Instagram at Watchers_podcast. Bye.